How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What are
Doing
you
well.
doing?
I have a Pokemon channel. I'm just kind of filming some of my cards here. I thought it was a nice day. It'll be nice to get out.
Yeah.
What's going on, you guys? My name is Matt, and as you can see, I'm outside, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share my error collection with you. I've been collecting for maybe 2 years now. I wouldn't say I'm a great collector or I have a great collection or anything, but I've got some fun ones and some fun stories behind them. So I thought it would be fun to share them outside because it's a gorgeous day out. So let's get going. So I will just pull these out in random order and talk about them. So first up, wow, we have a banger here. So first up, we have a Shadowless Vulpix with the low ink error on the water symbol there. Also, mind my nails, they're awful, and they probably have a bunch of dirt on them or something. This is one I picked up very cheap. I picked it up for like $1 or $2. With all these, you'll see we have pricing on the screen. We picked this up for like $1 or $2, and I think it sells for like $40 to $80, $40 to $50, I'd say. So definitely a very fun pickup for this one, and I'd say one of my top 5. Ooh. All right, here we have a Mega Venusaur EX, and this is a Miscut. As you can see, we have an alignment dot in the bottom right corner there. On the back is just about as Miscut. I believe there's an alignment dot there. And yeah, Venusaur is my favorite Pokemon, and definitely a welcomed addition to the collection. I think we should be playing the Fat Bottom music for this, but I forgot. Next up, just a classic no symbol Pidgeot from Jungle Set. I actually picked this one up on my birthday a few years ago. I was just going to a card shop, and it was not listed as an error. $10, yeah, look at that. It's always fun to, if I get it in person, to have the price on there to show. We'll go another no symbol. We have a Snorlax. This one wasn't the best price, but definitely was not listed as an error. And I still think I got a pretty good deal for it. And yeah, again, the front's pretty clean, and that's usually what I care about when getting cards for the binder. I love my repeating errors. So here we have a base set 2 Poliwrath with the blue dot error. You can see right there in the center there is a repeating blue dot, and this one picked up off eBay for pretty cheap, you could see, and not the best shape, but honestly, again, don't really care too much. Just fun to collect all of the repeating errors. I think with most of the repeating errors I have, if I have duplicates, I will sell them. You know, I think one is enough, and it's nice to fund the hobby by just flipping them then. Not a Pokemon card. This is a Dark Magician. I always like to look for different cards that kind of remind me of my childhood, and this is one of them. And I didn't realize it until I saw another one next to this, that this is actually, I believe, a low ink error. You can see the non-error card. I think the easiest way to tell is right here by the stars on the top. So yeah, definitely cool. And this one's in good shape. Picked it up for $8 at a local card shop, and was very happy when I found out later that it was an error. No one's around, and this is lovely. Okay, here's a special one. Here is a Scyther from Jungle Set with a Crimp error, and I believe this is actually the first error card I ever picked up. Got it off eBay. This was when I was like just getting into the hobby, and I was just buying cards on eBay too. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I saw this and I was like, holy cow. I got it for a pretty good deal too. I wouldn't have picked it up otherwise, but yeah, this is kind of what fueled the hobby, and you can see a pretty good Crimp there. We know that Japanese cards definitely have better quality, and so to see a Crimp on a vintage card like this is very cool. It's a little off center too, so kind of a double error. This one, not too special and kind of in horrible condition, but we have a Zapdos from Fossil Set with just the error in the top there, the non-hollow error, I believe it's called. And yeah, this was one actually my friend Sam, you've seen him from Sam Finds the Error. He found it for me when we were at a card show here in Eau Claire. And yeah, awful condition. But again, I was just really excited. This was when I was still new to errors too. I'm not sure if I was even filming yet. And was just really excited to pick it up. I was really, really excited actually. Probably too excited, but it was a fun memory. All right, here we have a Psychic Energy, and this is one you can see probably one of the more unique printer hickeys that I have in my collection. We got a red dot with blue around it, and this is one from my childhood collection actually. I hate more. Squirtle so much, good lord. From my childhood collection, and yeah, just a cool one. I was flipping through them the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and yeah, saw this and was like, holy cow, that's got to go in the binder. Next up, we have a base set 2 Bellsprout with an additional green ink error right here on the right side. I believe I picked this up in person. I think it was in the box of bulk, and got it for like $1, I believe. These additional ink errors are fairly rare, and haven't seen one like this before, but you know, a little subtle, and people probably wouldn't pick it up unless you have the error eyes on, I like to call them. But yeah, this is a fun one. Base set Abra with not the fighter jet plane error, but just a printer hickey. You can see right there. Just a little printer hickey, multicolored, and in a pretty decent spot on the card. Again, you like to see it on the art box, but yeah, just a fun little pickup I got off online. This one's actually not an error, but when the person listed it, they just listed it as a Shadowless Squirtle, I believe, not first edition, and I believe they had actually a wait a second. Yeah, it was not listed as first edition, and the photo they had, it kind of looked like a stock photo, so I really didn't think it would be a first edition Squirtle, but it was. It's in phenomenal shape. It didn't come in any sleeve whatsoever, no penny sleeve or top loader, and it got to me in perfect condition, and I picked it up for very, very cheap. So that might be one of the bigger value finds I've ever had. No symbol, Vaporeon from Jungle Set. Horrible condition, but picked it up it was not listed as an error, obviously, and oh god, yeah, it's bad, but got a good deal on it, so I thought that'd be kind of a fun one to have. So this next one is a Dark Raichu from Team Rocket Set. This is one I picked up in a lot, flipped it actually, and decided to keep this one because someone in the Discord I was in pointed out that it's a low ink error. So I believe the border here, you can see this should be darker, and it's all light, and yeah, I just thought that was kind of neat. I sold the other ones, made a decent profit, nothing too crazy, but wanted to keep this one. It's kind of hard to pass that up, and also I didn't have a Dark Raichu before, so it's kind of a fun addition to the collection. But yeah, I believe the whole art box here really is lighter. Base set Vulpix with the corrected HP. You know, most of them were printed with HP 50, but this one's 50 HP. I believe it's only the 4th edition that has this. So it's just a cheap pickup, was not listed as an error, and yeah, picked it up. I'm very happy with it. First edition Meowth from Team Rocket Set. Now, as I'm looking at it, well, so first off, this is the knife error right here. You can see there's like an ink smudge that is a repeating error on Meowth's whisker there, but I'm seeing there's a little bit of green ink there. That's picking up on camera. Don't know what that is, but might be something to look out for. I don't know. Charmander from Team Rocket Set with an awesome placed printer hickey. This was one of the first errors I actually picked up too. I believe probably one of the first 5, and just an awesome location for that one. Again, I love the multicolored printer hickeys. Yeah, not in the best shape, but again, who the heck cares? I ain't selling it, and it's just in the binder. Next up, first edition Shellder from Fossil Set, and I believe this is an ink error on Shelder's nose there, if they had a nose. This was when I was doing a series where I would try to find an error card for the number of subscribers I have. So if I had like 320 subscribers, my budget would be $3.20. And I picked this one up, and yeah, within that budget, and thought that was pretty cool. All right, so we have Fighter Jet Abra. That's not what this is. I call this the UFO Abra. So it is an ink error, very close to where the Fighter Jet error is. And yeah, this one obviously doesn't command any value whatsoever, but this was not listed as an error. Picked it up and thought it was really cool. It's an ink error in some very close location. Obviously not as big and not as iconic, but still a cool one. Here we have a Horsea from Fossil Set, and this is a printer hickey on the right there. This was another one I did during that challenge with a number of subscribers, and yeah, was very happy to pick this one up. Okay, this is, again, top 5 errors. We have a first edition Eevee with one of the largest printer hickeys you will see. to fly in there. This is one, I picked it up as, you know, obviously listed as damaged, and I think the person who was selling it thought this was all damaged. Clearly it's still not in the best condition, but yeah, this is a printer hickey, and actually found out from someone else in the Discord I'm in, McLaren, that this is actually a repeating error, and he has 2 examples of this. I'll put this on the screen here, and yeah, I believe mine's the lighter example, but really just look at that. That is incredible. Again, one of the largest, I'd say, repeating printer hickeys you will see, and picked it up for, I think, like $1 or something. All right, here's one. It's a Jynx from Topps, and it's a miscut. I always love my Topps miscuts. This one, I definitely didn't get a good deal on it, but I was kind of proud of it. The photo they had was really distorted, but somehow I was still able to tell that it was an error, like a miscut. So I picked it up again, probably overpaid for it, but I haven't had any Topps miscuts before, so I thought it was kind of a fun pickup. And again, wasn't listed as an error, which is kind of my my MO. Next up, we have a base set Ninetales with the Black Flame error. Right here, this is a variant that is pretty rare. You can see it's behind Ninetales here and on the side, where there's a black flame instead of the regular blue flame. And picked this up as not an error, just like all of these. And yeah, always happy to check off these repeating errors and add them to the collection. Here's one. We have a Magneton, I believe it is, from Fossil Set, Japanese card, and I picked this up at a local card shop, and might be hard to see here, but there is a pretty decent sized hollow shift. It's, I think, like almost at the threshold where you'd actually be able to like count it as a hollow shift. But yeah, very cool one. You can see obviously there's a good size hollow bleed on here too. At least I'm not sure if the hollow actually shines through. I don't believe it does. It's just like the darker marks that most Japanese cards have, but definitely a cool one. And again, I think the most shifted card I have for hollows. Shadowless Dragonair with the rainbow smear error. Right here, we have a smear over the U in number, and a very neat repeating error that was not listed as one. Again, quality's crap. That's all right though, because the front is what we care about. So yeah, that's a neat one. And one, again, it's very satisfying to check off these repeating errors when you've been looking for one for a while and you finally get one. Another repeating error, we have a base set Clefairy with the black dot error. Ink covering the N and the O in now here. I had a less severe example that I sold recently just because, again, I got a severe one. Why would I need to have a less severe one? Again, bad quality, but we don't care. First edition base set Machamp with the green dot error. Not listed as an error, and you know I swiped that up. And just these last few cards have been awful condition, good lord. Yeah. I think for me selling on eBay, this is the card I flip the most. It's Shadowless Squirtle with the red diamond error. We have a repeating red ink dot on the V and the E from Withdraw. Oh god, there's women going over here. Yeah, and a very, very neat repeating error, but I flipped it so many times, several different cards. Probably made a couple $100 at this point for these. Hiya. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. I have a Pokemon channel. I'm just kind of filming some of my cards here. I thought it was a nice day. It'll be nice to get out.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up quickly. All right, next up, actually, we have a pair of cards here. We have Charmander from Team Rocket set with the, I forget what it's called. Is it the D error? But basically repeating ink error on the D there. And very neat. And actually, this was from the same seller. They had one photo. They had one photo of this, and they had 2 left. And I was like, you know what? I'll buy both just to make sure I get one of them. And it turns out both of them actually had the error. So very neat. Obviously, a very cool repeating error, and one you don't see sell too often, actually. The cards are in better shape than most. Yeah. First edition Butterfree with the D error. I believe the seller actually had several of these. Oh, there might be something on the back there too. The seller had several of these though, and I let them know. I was like, hey, are you shipping out that exact card? And he's like, oh yeah, I think I am. I was like, well, hey man, I'll be honest with you. And this is after I purchased it already. I was like, well, that's actually a repeating error right there. And he's like, oh, I had no idea, but I'll honor the sale, and sent it to me. I got it for way lower than it usually goes for. So awesome fun. It's always fun interacting with these sellers, and yeah, just being real with them and kind of informing them a little bit. Obviously, I linked them to the YouTube channel too. Oh, this one, Venusaur EX with a misalignment error. Look at that. We have an alignment dot in the bottom right corner, and the line of another card. This is probably the most miscut card I have. It was posted on a Facebook group I'm in for errors, and I messaged the guy. I was like, hey, would you take 20 bucks? He's like, yeah, I will. And so was able to snag this up. The guy was like an absolute professional. He shipped the card out and gave me a PayPal invoice, and I was like, wow, this is way more than I was expecting, but awesome guy. And it's slightly wonky too. The card is, you can see, a little bit thinner. The line here is a little bit thinner here than it is right here. So again, I love my Venusaur errors. Speak of the devil, look at this. Shadowless Venusaur, miscut, with the alignment dot in the bottom left corner there. This is one that's absolute grail. I talked about before, there is a card on eBay that I would say was my grail, and it was listed for like $3,000 or something. I was like, well, I can never afford that. And then this one pops up and I snag it for an unbelievable price. I think there's like a little scratch here. Yeah, right here. Really don't care, because that's not where your eye is going. It's going for the miscut here. Absolutely wonderful card. Here we have an Ancient Mew, in awful shape, but it's pretty miscut actually. I believe that's an alignment plus in the bottom right there. You can see definitely shifted over to the left here. Thicker border on the right here. And yeah, very evident on the back too. We have an alignment plus in the bottom left here. Not in the best shape, but again, not listed as an error, and sometimes I will embarrassingly overpay for a card just because it's not listed as one, and that's kind of how I like to pick up the cards. Ooh, Super Potion. I forget if this is a pickup that I got on eBay or in person, but it has an alignment dot in the top right corner, and it's actually misaligned. Yeah, just a neat one. Yeah, one of the earlier error cards I had gotten too. Boy, this is kind of anticlimactic, because I think I went through all the cool ones already, so we're just kind of going through the stragglers here. But another miscut card. Not sure which one this is, because I do not read Japanese, and I believe this is a... Well, so obviously it's cool because, again, Japanese quality, it should be so much better, and this is misaligned. Back is beat to hell, but in good, centered. So, another neat one. Two good ones, never mind. Okay. First edition Pikachu with the ghost stamp error. This is a fun story. Well, I think I just like tricked a kid or something, but they had a whole lot of cards selling for like 50 or 60 bucks. And I was like, hey, could I just have that Pikachu? And they're like, yeah, sure. And the quality of the photos were awful. And somehow I saw it that this was a ghost stamp error. Yeah, look at this. And was able to pick it up for like 14 bucks, and he just shipped me the Pikachu. And yeah, definitely one that I would not be able to acquire anytime soon if I was to buy it, if it was listed as an error. So really, really one of my favorite cards. We have a Sandslash from Fossil Set, and you see the error? It's the weakness ... error. So this is a repeating error that is on Bulbapedia. I was never able to find a photo of it until I posted it on Reddit. Never able to find this before, and I searched through eBay just because a little while ago I was super into error cards, where it's like, I want to find a repeating error, so I'm going to look for every single listing for this. So I searched Sandslash from Fossil Set, and no joke, this was the last card. So I searched through, it was like 15 or 20 pages of Sandslashes. The last card was a seller from the UK, and I purchased a card, and I think they had several of them listed, and the guy didn't know which one to send me, so he just sent me like 6 Sandslashes, and I got it in the mail a couple weeks later and was so happy. I don't know how valuable this is, but again, if you search this error, I was never able to find an actual photo of this card, and so I would say just, the story of how hard it was to find. Just, it's funny that the seller gave me all of their Sandslashes And the fact that it's not really photographed too much online makes this one of my favorite errors. Thank you for watching. That was fun. Yeah, maybe I'll do an updated video in a year or so if I get more error cards, but that's my collection. I love them. You know, this is a fun hobby, fun getting to meet so many people, and fun to share these videos with you. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.